How's it going, everybody? You're very welcome to a very special Wingnut podcast. My name is Ray Wingnut, and for the next while, I'm going to be looking back at a hip-hop festival that takes place in Galway every Easter weekend. I'll be having verbals with some of the artists, the guests, the friends, and the fanatics that come together to mix up and make this such an amazing and special event every year. Gotta say massive shouts to my man, Jimmy Penguin. He is a giant that stalks the land, no doubt about it. So check out the running order, keep an eye on who's who, and here we go. It's 2014 in Galway, and this is the Community Skratch Games.
I literally walked around in there and I said, you know what, I'm home. Because at the end of the day, it's people who love music. And I feel like it's very rare to find people who genuinely love music, but they don't. Because some people listen to music, you know, it's like, hey, I listen to music. But when you're in this room, you're like, you feel a lot of people who are passionate, enthusiastic. And we're the reason why other people will get passionate, enthusiastic about music. So it's the people that you want to spread the music out there. And, you know, I just feel like, you know what, this is the one place you come to and you're like, hey, these people appreciate and love music, and that's why we're gonna turn it up to the maximum. Yeah!
My name is Dahi Curtin. This is my first ever Skratch Games. Yeah, I kind of would be a fan of the music in general that would be played and of the producers who scratch here, but yeah, this is my first Skratch Games. I'm expecting a lot from Deviant, and I'm expecting a lot from My Name is John and God Knows. They'd be the bar. I think my uncle in Waterford got me into them first because he started to be into hip hop in general and scratching in general as well. But yeah, I think he sent me a link to Flying Buttresses or something like that, and I found out about him through that. He used to be known as DJ Oscar, you might know him. He used to DJ a lot, hip-hop stuff. He does mixes and stuff on Up in Tempo FM, and yeah, he does lots in Waterford. We can't stick around for the night, I don't think. We were going to see if there's a car going down with God Knows, but if that doesn't work out, we're going to take a bus home at about 8, I think.
Good stuff. And how about the rest of you lads? What's the story?
I'm Connor from Mullock.
From Mullock,
yeah.
hip-hop centralist. All right, are you from the north side or south side of Mullock?
Well, inner city, you know. Kind of the central.
All right, yeah. So listen, like, have you been listening to hip-hop for a couple of years, or is this something you recently got into? What's the story?
Like Irish hip-hop, do you mean? Yeah. No, I've never listened to it. But recently, Dahi's got me into it, so, you know, yeah.
Yeah? And so what are you expecting from Skratch Games? Have you any experience of scratch music?
I know what it is.
DJing
Like, I have an idea of what it is. I'm expecting to be entertained. So
all right.
If I'm entertained, then I'll be happy.
All right. Yeah. Have you ever tried DJing or anything like that?
I tried to make beats last night, but it didn't, you know, go how I planned.
I tried to teach him. Yeah. I tried teaching him a few things.
I'm very interested in it, so, you know, maybe one day I'll start making albums.
And what kind of music are you into?
Everything from like gangster rap to heavy metal and stuff. So, everything really except country. I can't do it.
All right, good stuff. And how about yourself, buddy? What's your name?
Keane Riley.
Keane Riley. And so listen, this is your first ever Skratch Games.
Yeah.
Is there any artists in particular that you're looking forward to hearing?
Not really. It's kind of just like Dahi's gotten me into the Irish hip hop recently, and I really like it. So, yeah, it's a good day out with the lads, you know.
Good stuff. And what kind of Irish hip hop have you been listening to?
Like Dahi was saying, My Name is John, and you know, that kind of stuff. It's good, really good.
My name is John. I'm in Galway this weekend for the community Skratch Games. I'm a DJ and a producer, and I'm up here to wreak havoc and also play some music in the beer house tonight. This is going for years and years. I met DJ Deviant, who is one of the founding members of the community Skratch Games in Cork in 2001 on his birthday, when I pushed him down the hill in a shopping trolley. And from there, the bond was it was made right there. So since then, myself and Deviant, Jimmy Penguin, anyone really, I suppose, that's associated with the crew, we all became really good friends. Mikey Fingers, Danny. We all became really good friends and just kind of hung out and collaborated in various different ways or at various different events together in certain kind of regards. And tonight is a live show from me and the MC, God knows, as well.
So your latest work is with God Knows?
Yes!
There's an album on the way. What's going on? Give us
It's
a
going to be bananas. Made an album with the finest MC in Ireland, as far as I'm concerned. So I got God Knows on a track maybe 2 years ago. And since then we've kind of been working together and collaborating on various different things. But I think in the back of our mind, we'd worked on an EP together last year with a third guy called Graham S. And this year we were like, let's make an album. And it's actually been the most fantastic learning curve in that I'm doing music for a long time. The album will explain this because there's a sample that kind of explains it. But it's been the most fantastic experience in terms of making an album and really realizing that if you want to make something that's really, really good and really, I think, pertinent, you have to sit down with someone, you have to discuss it, there has to be kind of an ideology behind it. And also, that it's like God Knows pushes me to like raise my game. I like to think that I push him to raise his game, but to be honest, his game doesn't need to be raised anymore. It's peaking.
All right, so a good time to bring you in there, God Knows. So listen, can you describe how this your first meeting of yourself and My Name Is John? How did that come about?
He did youth work in Clare. And there was a time where I quit music so that I could focus on doing music specifically for the youth. I'm not in it for the money or anything like that. So it was a case of I did it strictly for the youth, and he used to book us to do gigs in the Clare Youth Service. And the great thing was he was one of the only people who would have a great sound system. And because of that, I was like, this guy respects us enough to always give us like a great sound system. When other people, when you do things for free, they don't care, they treat you like garbage as well. So with that being said, I realized he was a music head and I'm a music head, and then we used to just talk about music. And from then on, I always looked up to him as a bigger brother before I even did a song with him. So by the time I did a song with him, it was already like we had a relationship outside of just making music. So when it came to making music, it just made that relationship go to the roof, really, because it's like now we're doing what we love, and also we're also great people outside of making music. So
we are great people.
Yeah, we are great people. Get to know us. You would like to go to the pub and have one drink with us, you know what I mean? Because we're great people. You know, one of those people is that you meet and then you'll be like, you know what, I would like to hang out with those people. And I would like to think when you listen to our EP, you'll be like, you know what, I really want to hang out.
I'm serious. That told me I was rebellious when I picked up my microphone alias. Now I'm God knows. I'm the best MC and God knows. And I won't stop now till the world knows. And I don't smile up on photos. I want you to picture me serious. I don't care what you believe. This black man's right on time. And I'm so done, and I'm so brown. Rock to be black, I don't bleach my face. And I keep my head down, I don't watch no face. Didn't look good in academics, but I sure look good in academics. Back in the day when we used to wear boo-boo. And by the way, then if you put you, and I'm still dancing too, but you put you raised up on the African good music. People revising amazing music. I be the Ghana, the be me there. Killing the rhythm, body up, the be me there. The Zulu warrior, in me, come out in there. Spawn in the land of the big fours, Irish son, adapted, I became yours. And I'm gonna do a lot of world tours, and I'm gonna open up all doors, and I'm gonna do a lot of world tours, and I'm gonna open up all doors. Here's to the ones that's never been touched, here's to the ones that's never been brushed, here's to the ones that's never been nudged, but never to kindness, it's gonna be us. The focus is a locust and a low-cut grass. The focus is a locust and a low-cut. I'm serious. That told me I was rebellious when I picked up my microphone alias. Now I'm God knows. I'm the best MC and God knows. And I won't stop now till the world knows. And I don't smile up on photos. I want you to picture they're definitely dancing. You can come up to the shows and guarantee that they be raving. They're dancing, they're definitely dancing. You can come up to the shows and guarantee that they be raving.
Well, my name is Lewis James. I'm from Ranelagh in Dublin originally, and I first got into scratch music. Usual story, I guess. A mate of mine had a set of turntables, and he went away on holiday, and I borrowed them off him. Yeah, he went away on holiday, and I borrowed them off him, and then I was dead set on it. Saved up, got a pair, and remember I went to. My dad was actually living in Hythe, and I went to Fresh 97, so I saw Scratch Pickles. So it was Mixmaster Mike, Qbert, and Shortcut, and it was amazing. It was the first time I'd ever really seen scratching properly, and it was particularly Mixmaster Mike. The stuff he does is so musical. That was really inspiring to me, and so that was when I saw that, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I came over for the Scratch Games last year, and Voids were playing at it, and I was really blown away by the sound and the character of it, and it's really unique and quite hauntingly beautiful, and a lot of the kinds of sounds that they use were things that I'm always kind of trying to, I guess, push the envelope on that kind of sound, making sort of non-dancey sound kind of dance floor, have a dance floor feeling to them, And so I basically just went up to them and said, look, I've a studio in Amsterdam anytime, I'm there all the time, you want to come over? Honestly, feel free. And they sent me a load of stuff back and forth on the internet, and we chatted about it, and then they came over for one visit, and we recorded the first half of the EP, and then did another visit and we recorded the second one. Basically, just come over, go straight to the studio and hit it, and see what comes out of it. And so they have a full EP finished out of it now, and I think as far as I'm aware, they're happy with it, and I really like it as well, So. I was living in Amsterdam for 3 years and working for Guerrilla Games, who make Killzone. So I was the audio director of Killzone Shadowfall, which was one of the main launch titles for the PlayStation 4, and that was a great project. Got to work with Tyler Bates, who did the soundtrack for 300 and The Watchmen and stuff like that. Did half the score, so the game split into two factions, goodies and baddies, and so he did the music for the good guys, and then Lorne, who's on Ninja Tune, who's also kind of from the old days of scratch music, did the soundtrack for the bad guys. And then there was kind of a lot of the process of using the music to make the sound and using the sound to make the music, so some of the gunshots in the game, they have the sound of the kick drums and the orchestral parts that were recorded in the sound effect,
Cool.
And so really trying to blend things together to make one seamless kind of soundtrack, rather than it being music and gunfire and music and gunfire, to give it a more kind of solid blend, or what have you.
Excellent. So do you think that your background in scratch music has really informed your work in computer games?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the basic principle of having an idea that's in your head and having a tool to get it out of your head, and then being able to the thing with a turntable is that you're always using it for something that it's not really meant for. And so that to me opened the door to if I can have one sound on one record and I can use it to try and speak musically, ad infinitum, then basically the possibility for doing that with pretty much any sound, taking one sound and turning it into another sound, is endless, And so that's the thing that got me really fascinated about it. pretty much nothing that you hear in a film is what you think it is. Everything is made out of something else.
Now you see what can happen. What can happen to you when you don't listen to some friendly advice.
One of the founders of Lifestyles Hip Hop Festival down in Cork, and I'm up for the annual pilgrimage, the Easter pilgrimage for the community Skratch Games. Yeah, definitely, like every year we're lucky to have it on before Lifestyles because they get to come up here, see what's going on. I mean, the boys, they've really got their finger on the pulse of what's going on the underground scene, like a lot more than I do myself, to be honest. So it's always a great kind of scouting ground, and I mean, besides just coming up for fun and hearing good music and things, you get to see new talent like Deviant's group from Limerick that he's working with, the MIC. I'm really looking forward to seeing them this year. I've been hearing their tracks online and stuff, and like everything I've heard has just really blown me away, you know, especially Ejaculate coming through. It sounds like it's going to be a bit of ruckus, a bit of fun.
Lunatics living life large, shining bright like illuminous. Imperfectly perfect, dancing illusionist. Incredible infidels, oozing intelligence. Majestic melodies matching with menaces. Music and metaphors multiply medicines. Electric equipment direct like Everest. Equalities equal exquisite like an elephant. Real like the runs but dash just irrelevant. Treat repercussions red like a resident. Secure individuals, idle and innocent. Imposter responsibility included in the incident. Cities full of culture, now I am a citizen. Cities smelling fresh, think of carpet, taste of cinnamon. Keep myself awake, who can keep your ketamine. Silly full of canines, but they keep killing in. Local, literary, lifestyle living. Letting some tracks so letting people listen. Incredibility, it's engaging, mission or responsible. Doctors, regular incision. Magnificence made by me, just mythological madness, massive by musicians. Enthusiastic egos equal and efficient, ecclesiastic echoes emerge and exhibit. Raise your revelry and back on religion. Rampant recruitment, redundant in recession. Immature images and plot for impressions, insane individuals, illegal intentions. Courageous characters caught up with collections. Colourful Christians concerned with conceptions. Kamikaze kids killing all from Krypton, killing kids folk with the sound of the klaxon. I'm Nathan Keenan from Ross, straight up out of the MIC here to perform at the Skratch Games up in Galway, 2014 yards.
And Calvin McNamara from Ross in the MIC and came up to perform in Galway.
It was a great buzz from the start. We've been working together for years, but it only kind of got going 2 years ago when we met Andy. Andy's just a top man all round. Masterpieces of beats. Like he's introduced us to things like we've never even seen before, has he?
He's late. He's late.
Live at the Skratch Games tonight, boy.
Live at the Skratch Games tonight. It's a big one.
It's our time to shine, innit?
Our time to shine tonight.
How are you feeling? You feeling nervous?
No, I'm feeling up for it. We don't get nervous.
Not really nervous. It's our first time performing out of Limerick City, like.
It's just might as well show off our talents once we have them up there, like,
Exactly.
So welcome to my fantasy, where all you find is money trees. We don't want no wannabes, we're just straight up MIC. So welcome to our galaxy, where we're just like family. Listen to the harmony, them my Russian crew melody.
I said drop it, pop it, money filling pockets. And when we say we rock it, then we're gonna get it rockin'. Got brothers on the corner, kid, we know that they ain't stopping. Like after barn digits, we kick it, we hit it, we hit it, then beat it. The blackest camels hit it. They say that we ain't doing it right, we tell them go repeat it. Tell them go repeat it. Tell them go repeat it. 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 Tell me there's a ghetto heaven with no question or suggestions. Tell them they were always loved them. My last crew came straight up legends. Time that turn that 666 into a 777. Send it up to ghetto heaven. Send it up to ghetto heaven.
Drop it, don't stop it, pop it, lock it.
I loved it. It was great. They blew me out of the water. I saw them walking around the pub for a while, and I just thought they were coming to hang out, and I mean, they look like they're just two kids, and they completely knocked it out of the park. And then there was one later on with oh god,
My Name Is John. And
yeah,
God knows.
they were. I mean, them playing off of each other and their collaboration was phenomenal. It was so good, and definitely hyped up the place. Everyone got really into it, and it was unlike anything that I've ever seen. Definitely something that I would take back to America with me and introduce to people in LA.
Tell me that I'm living life. Drain the water from the pipes. Keep mind, tell me how they're all gonna survive. People knocking at your door, telling you they feel your vibe. So we say fuck all the rest, play with nothing but the best. So we tell them what's it back down, because they see it. NCNL is gonna hit this, just preheat it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
My name is ViolentStrix and I'm from London. It's beautiful. It's not like other events, you know. It's not like everybody is good at what they do, and it's not about who's the best on the night. Like, everybody knows one another. They all got their own lives, whether if they're working or they got families and stuff like that. But when we get together, it's just like we're one massive family. So Galway is just like second home to me.
Hi, I'm DJ Ejaculate, and I've been doing this for about 12 years. Yeah, it was kind of, I played a lot of my own stuff, so it's kind of electro, like 150 BPM, kind of faster, new school sort of electro, IDM, and some hip hop as well. Yeah.
Good stuff. And listen, how did you first encounter community Skratch games?
It was about 4 years ago at the Brighton Skratch Games. Like, they have a barbecue down there, and it's just amazing. Like, I travelled from Hull to Brighton. It's about 7 hours in coach, but it's worth the ride to go down there, because it's just for Skratch DJs. It's somewhere I think that needs to be, that you need to go to, you know, to get inspiration, because there's not many places around the world that really have like kind of like a hub for Skratchers to go to and to listen to other Skratch DJs and really kind of build off the vibe that's going on there. So yeah, it was 4 years ago in Brighton that really kind of opened my eyes to what's possible, you know, because I mean, people get very tied up in their own techniques, and it can be very limiting if you spend all of your time in the bedroom and and you don't go out and kind of experience what other people can do. Like, I mean, when I go back home, there's so many ideas I've got from coming tonight, especially from people like Deviant. It's just absolutely like mind-blowing seeing their set. Like, they take such a different approach to what I would kind of approach it at. It's like kind of it's like viewing different worlds to a certain extent. You know, you're peering into you know, the creative mind of other people, and it's inspiring, like, to say the least. Ejaculate. Like I absolutely loved Ejaculate scratches. Like I don't know. Like I think of him as similar to DJIQ. Like he's this American guy, but like Ejaculate, I think he's really kind of entering the kind of the level of IQ, who's basically one of the best scratchers in the world. I think Ejaculate, he has kind of this style that's starting to dissolve to a certain extent. It's becoming like the style, his techniques are becoming an extension of his kind of I don't know. It's hard to explain, but like you get a lot of scratchers that will do. You'll be able to catch the techniques that they're doing straight away. You know, you can catch. Oh, they're doing a line of chirps. They're doing like 2-click orbits, blah 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 blah. But Ejaculate, he's obscuring it more and more. And I think that's a sign of an advanced scratcher, is that their style is disappearing. They're becoming very kind of fluid and nondescript. I don't know. It's kind of, that's how I describe it anyway.
If you play it backwards at 33 RPM, it says something, you know, like zillion or
It's time for some trouble. What are you planning now?
My own name is Ejaculate and I'm holding up quite well at the moment. Harry, how about yourself?
Very well, that's right. My name's Harry, but I go under the name Moschops as well when I get busy with the sampler.
Yeah, that's us. Very good. It's like
we're in unison when we say it was good.
Good. Yep. Yeah. Well, last night was pretty intense, I suppose.
It was brilliant. Like
doing a gig, and also the battle, the freestyle battle is always taxing on the emotions and the spirit, but you know, rewarding nonetheless. So that was good. And then afterwards, some class international heads that I've never met before, as sound as they are, talented. You know, the usual vibe with the scratch games, crack. That was it, and then back to Jimmy's for some Jimmy crack. Yeah. Well, no.
It's like been building up for a few days, because me and Jack got on Skype together and we were playing records through Skype, and it was like, oh, this is great fun. And that was our whole approach to this set, just kind of, I suppose we were going like 2 for 2 at some points, and just really feeling comfortable up on stage, not having a plan, because normally when we come together we have this really elaborate setup with stickers and stuff, so to go beyond that into the realm of the unknown was exciting for us.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we normally kind of plan too hard, and it works well. People are impressed by the tightness or whatever, but like for us it's just unenjoyable because there's too many points at which to fail, whereas this time we went with no plan, so it's like there's no point, we can't mess up anything,
we can't fail.
Yeah, we cannot fail. It's failed by conception. Like.
Yes, that's right, sweet. They used to worship the sun.
I got given a tape years ago at a hip hop gig by an old friend of mine who met Harry previously and said, check out this tape. I was like, nobody else scratching in Dublin at the time that I liked anyway. And I got this tape, heard it was Harry, ended up contacting him. I don't know if there was a number on the tape or something, but it was typical Harry, it was a tape anyway. still on the tapes. But yeah, met him, and then through that developed a relationship which was kind of based on scratching, DJing. But then also we both have a kind of perverted take on music, I suppose. Not perverted in any of the
sordid
negative, any of the
the
negative contexts of the word, but like as far as a bit of a twisted idea as to what's good and what's bad, which doesn't really fall into most people's iPods, I suppose. But whenever we play the stuff that we play, which is normally pretty much like I don't know how you can describe it. It's like tunes from your floor, you know, not the ones that make it to the shelves, the ones that just stay on the floor. That's our kind of like record crate of choice.
We'd love to like play 1 second out of a tune for people, but it's very hard to kind of give that context.
Yeah.
You know, we bring
so much good music that we have from terrible records that we just want to share with people, and it's just hard to share that with people in a way that's palatable. But we try and kind of that's pretty much our philosophy, is to try and make terrible palatable and make it sound actually brilliant.
Edible.
Like edible and fresh. Fruits of
super fresh.
Yeah, like the mackerel of audio mackerel.
One, two, three. Wow.
Hello, darling.
I feel like it's like any kind of festival like that you go and camp in, only you know you stay in an actual house, and instead of coming into a tent to see the music, you're coming into an actual concrete pub. It's kind of like just like any festival that I've been to. That's like it's as wild as any, you know, bog standard kind of bring your tent festival. But it's in Galway City.
Yeah, every Easter for the last 8 years.
I haven't had an Easter egg in 8 years. I'm fucking starving for an Easter egg. Nobody buys me an Easter egg anymore because of this. Because
I think that's the hint to all the radio listeners. Send Easter eggs to PO Box Ejaculate.
23 Newcomen. Yeah. But yeah, no, the vibe is great. It's always like every year. One of the main things, part of the music, like you always end up like scratching is a bit of a solitary pursuit. You know, due to the fact that also there's not many people doing it. It's kind of a dying art. Not many young people are taking it up. So there's kind of the people who do it, and that's it. But like, because of that, it's, you know, unless you're around people who do it, it's kind of hard to keep inspired. But like this year is always like, it's a feast of, you know, nourishment for your inspiration and ideas, and just a kick up the arse to actually keep scratching, you know.
Finbar 247 and Paint Graffiti, kind of a piece down here in Pump Lane, which is like an old kind of Hall of Fame in Galway for graffiti and stuff. So be spraying every weekend anyway, but down here for the scratch games, you know, all elements of hip hop coming together and stuff, so it's really nice and everyone's chilling out. I'm doing a kind of blockbuster piece with a photorealistic character in the middle of a guy scratching. It's kind of a loose interpretation of it. It's quite colourful and vibrant, I suppose is the best way to put it. A bit to go yet. It's making me 3 days. I should have it done in one, but anyway, having the crack.
My name is Alex Plato. I'm from Oslo, Norway. Here in Galway to do a show under the name of the Grand Oslo Flow Delusion. So I'm representing the Oslo Flow by myself this time because my mate DJ Blam, he stayed back in Norway. So I'm doing a show with Jimmy and Louis, for the first time actually. So that's going to be a good experience, I think. We did some recordings back in Oslo at my place with Rich and Jim and Blam and me as well. So we just had this thought about doing it live as well sometime. Yeah, so we're doing it tonight. Yeah.
Great stuff. And it's not your first time here at Skratch Games. You've been before.
Yeah, I came back in 2009 the first time. Did the community Skratch Games. That was the first time I was in Ireland, I think, yeah. And DJ Blam came with me as well. We did an Oslo Flow show, yeah. So I was here in 2010 as well. We did a tour. We played in Dublin and Galway and a few other places in England, Brighton, Lewis, London, yeah.
Good
stuff.
stuff.
Like that.
And what do you think makes the community games different from any other festival?
I don't know. It's it's the people behind it, so passionate about it. You know, everybody's into the scratching thing, and so there's big amounts of passion behind it. I think that's really cool. Yeah.
Well, you know I'm the baddest DJ around, so everybody come and hear my sound. You know I can scratch, you know I can cut, and everybody tells me I am nuts. I'm a scratching and a cutting all day long, and now hear my girlfriend sing a song. La 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 la.
Good stuff. So can you tell us what we can expect from this collaboration tonight?
Some good cutting and some dope beats. Yeah, from Lewis and myself. Yeah, hopefully, hopefully you will enjoy it. I'm not sure.
Master of Skratch.
My name is Adriana. The Skratch game is so fun. The Skratch game teaching you a lot about life, about music, about everything. You just go there to see guys scratch all around, and then you have a pint, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Whatever way the road is, never take the shortcut. Never take the shortcut. Never take the shortcut. Okay, son.
Like, really what it kind of shows you though is that there's no, that when you have a common language like hip hop or like rap or music in general, I guess, I don't want to sound too much like a youth worker, but it does break down all the barriers that exist for social or geographical or whatever you want to say reasons. Like, but like, as soon as, say, I meet a new group of teenagers, and if I know they're interested in hip hop or rap, they might be frosty for the first minute, but as soon as you show them what you can do and that you're not a bullshitter or that you're not there to just patronize them and try and make them sing songs about flowers or whatever, because that's a lot of what that kind of side of work is as well. Like, and like, that's great and all, but I think a lot of the sort of people that are into more fringe stuff get left out of that thing. So I think what it's really taught me is that, yeah, that this is a universal sort of way of communicating with your society, like, and that like everyone's got something, like, you know. So like, I'm sure if someone that was really good at baking went in and was really enthusiastic about baking and showed them all how to bake, that would be their way in or whatever, like, you know what I mean? So it's like using what you have to make the change, I guess, is the key. Like, as in, like, I'm not political, I'm not, say, probably social care minded or anything, but I want to do something to make some bit of difference. And I know hip hop and I know rap and I know how to do that, so pass that on, I guess. And that's a ramble. Sorry, Ray.